Yes, graduates, welcome to Hard Talk Podcast with HTK. Fasten your seatbelts. Hey users and subscribers, welcome back to another episode of Hard Talk with HTK. In this episode, we will ask some close inspection questions around recent developments on the Jayden Smith case. When I tell you that this case has given me so much sleepless nights doing research, it's no joke. Because I needed to answer some questions that have been hanging over my head since this whole thing began. We are now approaching the end of the fourth week, and to date, there has been no sign of Jayden Smith. The questions that came up in my head are the following. 1. How is it that the principal said that Jayden was witnessed by a member of his staff and that Jayden ran off into the area, despite the fact that this member of staff had him within reach? He is claiming that if the man that was coming down the road had helped his member of staff, they could have caught him. Therefore, one bit of good news, according to the principal, was that Jayden was alive.
A third day of wide-scale search still did not turn up missing first form Manchester High School student Jayden Smith. The preteen was reportedly spotted in an area of Mandeville Wednesday night, but disappeared again before persons could get a hold of him. Krista Campbell has the details.
From morning till night, then repeat. It's day 3 of an all-out search for missing first form Manchester High School student Jayden Smith, and still no positive results.
We are passionate about the search for him today because we have heard of sightings of him.
But Principal Jasper Gabriel believes a breakthrough is close by.
Conclusively, based on who I spoke with, Jayden was seen along this Wesley Road area here last night. When they raised the alarm, he started to run. One of my staff workers at school saw him, and she said that she had gotten some help from one of the male persons that was on the road that was going in the other direction. They could have held on to him, but by the time they could have done anything, he disappeared somewhere in the area.
As the search grows, so do the boots on the ground. Everyone seemingly united with one goal: finding Jayden Smith.
We have about 102 students and about 15 members of staff, and as you can see, there's a large contingent of police officers, maybe about 50 or so. I want to tell you the entire school population wanted to come out today, but the protocols that would have to engage the parents would not have allowed us to get everybody. But we believe the more the number of eyes that we can get on the road, the greater the possibilities.
Remembered as a quiet and diligent student, one of Jayden's peers made an impassioned plea to him.
Jayden, come back. We need you. It is important for you to come back. I know that you're probably scared, but we'll comfort you and cause you no harm.
Who is this member of staff? Why is it that this member of staff cannot be named, considering they are a key witness in Jayden's disappearance? Remember, at the time, he was claiming Jayden was alive. So you would have imagined that he could have said, Mr. Swallowfield or Mrs. Broomstick saw Jayden running across the road when we were doing the search, and unfortunately, she could not get hold of him. But instead, this member of staff remains nameless. Also, the scenario of some man that was asked to grab him, but that never grabbed him. How comes that man not coming forward to say, yeah, me did see Jayden, you know, because me did see him, and me see when him run off from the teacher. So that's one key thing that keeps playing on my mind. Where did he get this from? The other question that I'm asking myself is this. There is mention of a friend, a close friend, with whom Shanique went to Spur Tree in order to change her clothes or freshen up before she went back to the hospital because she didn't carry any clothes from foreign. Who is this friend that is referred to by the uncle?
While Jayden at school,
Shanique and his friend named Tommy we live in our area, so was poetry at the same time but freshen up because he no carry no clothes from foreign. So he just go as poetry up the tell about for me wife boss.
Yeah, but what about time?
You know, I really remember time like that, no, already early morning. Early morning, part
No, what we are talking about, the time now when Jayden supposed to be at school. Yes, until him got the local fast food place. Yes, and at that time, you now were on the road.
Yes.
Hustling. Yes, and so that's now, but where were Shanique at the time?
Shanique and Tommy, that's poetry. Yes, that's poetry.
Yeah, but the thing now, oh, you don't know that's poetry like that, people don't ask.
Me,
You just have to accept it.
yeah, me understand what you say. But me carry the bunch of key go give Shanique in her hand right down
No, me know, in the morning.
yeah, down what I know, they don't 3 Angels Pharmacy.
At what time?
He calls her Tammy. And then he insists Tammy and Shanique did their poetry. On more than one occasion, he insists that. Tammy seems to be missing from the picture in terms of coming forward to defend her friend. To say, yes, the two of us went to Spurtree and I was there as a witness to tell you that she was nowhere near Jayden. This Tammy is not defending her friend at all. But there was somebody who came forward with a very similar name.
Because when I noticed that Jayden, something was not right, is when I left the hospital and we came to Mother's to buy chicken. I called Jayden phone because by that time he will be home. Because Jayden have a key, everybody have a key. When I called Jayden phone straight, the phone ring without an answer. The man turned to me and said, Mommy, don't call Jayden straight because Jayden don't put credit on his phone. So in chip lockdown, call him on WhatsApp. No, we have internet at home. I called Jayden on WhatsApp. I did not get Jayden. I called him again. I did not get him. I said, no, man, this is strange. All right, we buy the chicken and we come home. When we reach home and I enter into the yard, the car pull up into the yard. Jayden have his own room.
Jayden have a phone.
Stop up the live, brother, and
Jayden have a phone, but Jayden never carry the phone to school. Yo, as so comes the police have a phone and the police take away the phone and I try to pull the phone, because Jayden lock the phone so we can't go in night.
No, man. So the police can't get the phone pulled, man. If the police
them say they can't get the phone pulled.
Yeah, man. And the phone supposed to pull already. As me say, I know like yesterday and a Thursday. I 2 weeks now.
So do you see where my questions are coming from? First of all, the aunt is claiming that she is calling Jayden on his phone and that she was advised by Demar that try him on WhatsApp because him not no credit, him not top up. You understand? So how is it that all of a sudden Demar is very much aware of the fact that Jayden didn't carry his phone to school? Why didn't he advise his mother on the night when they were at Mother's getting chicken that Jayden's phone would be at home? Because he clearly knew that Jayden's phone was not taken to school and that Jayden left the phone at the yard. So why are they trying to contact Jayden via mobile phone, via cell phone, on WhatsApp to find out about what, chicken or what he want to eat? I never know what he want to call him for. But all I know is that those stories do not align. And they do raise questions. Who is lying about Jayden's phone? Who is lying about whether or not Jayden had his phone with him or not? Is the phone that was presented to the police actually Jayden's phone? This is just bizarre and contradicting information. So like I said, there are some probing questions that we need to ask tonight. We're going to go back to the principal and I am going to share with you the full interview of the principal. We heard the initial statement when he's talking about, the fact that Jayden was witnessed. This man seems to have a lot of information about witnesses around Jayden's final moments where he was not considered missing. Take a listen to the full interview and we're going to analyze it bit by bit. Now, as you know, L.A. Lewis came out with his conclusions. And I am going to just insert the clip very quickly so that you can hear what Eddie Lewis had to say.
No, because me era 1 police them. You understand? Yeah, man, because me era 3 police them. You understand? Because era 3 police them Jayden there. But era 3 police them, either the police officer, Mr. Man, they were up on the case. Cause him just a search bushes alone and not try to solve the case. No. The police officer they know something and I want to make you know. But if I do the thing the wrong way, now guess what now? Mr. Man search up here bushes. The school they call me today. So why me have to if me could come in at the school and come talk to the principal one away. Well, me come down at the school and the principal never want to see me. So, when me let out the information now, why you go vex? I don't like how the investigating officer is doing things, people. Me not see arrest, no, I do not see no arrest is making. Me don't see nobody arrest nobody. I do not see nobody get arrest. Better if it was an entertainer and him name call for something, you see them go arrest him. Better if it was a local shopkeeper and you hear him name call for something, you go arrest him. But who now Paul for arrest and question the principal. Misleading of evidence. Throwing off the case. We send some people go down there for ask the principal of Jayden Smith School if him could send help organize the march. Help organize the peaceful march on behalf of Jayden Smith by getting the local school people to come out and organize. Them say them have business with it. No. What kind of school is? No, not what kind of school is. Big up the principal, big up the teacher them at the school. People, I swear for lie, me tell people, me drop down on the ground. Imagine. We go down at the school. A matter of fact, we sent to the school, requesting them for this Friday. Imagining. We go to the school what Jayden Smith go. The school what the last time somebody see him in front of the school him walk over to Mega Mart. Looking at the place. To see if him see who them tell him to go look for a little baby boy get take away. Instead of the investigating officer try to work off for the lead them on the game. A bush him a search. No. The school principal need to answer some question. Him need to come up. Come here, school principal. After now, people, we send and go ask the school principal for help us with the march. For this coming Friday, people. This coming Friday, people. The principal say, they're not interested in that. No. Imagine. All of Jayden look a friend them, in best friend them people. Different from Mr. T people. All of Jayden look a best friend them people go out to school. And we're going to do something, people, for try to bring a closure to Jayden mother and the people them. And we do a thing now, people, for help close the case, people. Wrap up the case fast, people. The principal for the school said them not interested for company demonstration. What kind of cold-hearted people, man? And I know Mr. Jayden Smith mother call me. So I don't know if them hold her and take the phone from her or them go threaten her people because it's a little woman who was soft in the people. The school principal came out and tried people to mislead the case people. To mislead the case people, and I do say misled. And if I'm telling something wrong, people, then can say wrong me talk. No, people, the school principal came out and make the whole world know, say, somebody said Jayden Smith a runway. The school principal said somebody said Jayden Smith a runway. So the whole world people believe said Jayden Smith packing bag and gone to Portland or Jayden Smith because the little girl baby foot get broke. Jayden gone a Galamazoo or gone a Shantytown in a Kingston, aka a Shantytown. So, no. Why would the principal do something like that? Why would a grown man see the police them and try to solve the case? Why would a grown man see Jayden Smith friend them and all of the people them who love that little boy and try to solve the case? And tell the police and tell the world, say the principal come out to the people. Remember, I know me say so, him say so. Why would the principal of the school come out and say, but nobody never asked him nothing? Him just voluntarily come out and say, oh it's Jayden Smith looking for. You know, say, one of my teachers them, and one of my friends them say Jayden Smith pack a look bag and cut gun. Where him cut gun? So, and then through the school principal, and him is a pastor. So, whole heap of people believe him. It was credible because them say, a pastor, so him not go tell a lie. And the school principal, so him not go tell a lie. But let me tell you something, people. He was lying. Because the school principal is in this thing deeper than all of you think him is. The school principal is in something deep. And for the love of the Almighty God, Nayan Kepong, for the love of Gaia, the ever-present mother of the planet, I don't know how the police are not going to grab up on the school principal before him take a visa and run away like the girl. Because the school principal are going to run with people. After tonight, how long did you know, say, when them say the cousin come pick up Jayden? Me have to look two side people to see if them said anybody but me goozering them now burn me people so I know so the coast clear. Did you crowd of people know, say, hey, the pastor, aka the school principal name is Gabriel. I don't know which if a Gabriel the archangel, I don't know if a Gabriel the DJ, but a Gabriel the principal people, Gabriel the pastor. Him and the mother and the daughter up at the yard all long for how much months now, people. The girl come down, people, and up at the school principal yard, the girl go bathe, go shower, and go change her drawers. Them remember, you know, I know me said the girl never come down with no drawers, you know. And the stepfather said the girl just come down. And then the poor Mr. Man, Mr. T, the father-in-law, people, the stepdaddy, he must say get burnt till he made right and right. Did you know, say the mother up at the pastor yard all long, and the key, what Mr. Thompson check say, and the daughter-in-law must buy house or rent house. Mr. T never knows that key now him see that the house so long. Why every time people and bag wife, him see him wife have it and grab it tight. Mr. T never knows say at the school principal bedroom, at the school principal house. No. I get fear understand. Say that I want at the school principal cabin to stabbing house. So why is Mr. T wife of the principal scabbing house? Who know what I mean already, people? And I wonder if that house is a sacrificial house. I wonder if that house is a cult house. And the Mr. T wife in a something what Mr. T don't know she in. I'm just wondering that part, people. Who help me? Cause people, Jayden thing look like it planned long time, people. Cause remember I said Jayden is a big spirit, you know. Jayden the youth super bright.
Now, there are countless speculations. People are saying that Shanique is the principal's daughter. Now we're hearing L.A. Lewis allude to the fact that there is some kind of intimate relationship going on between either Shanique and the principal or the mother and the principal. He also arrived at the conclusion that the mother actually works for the principal. This is her boss. What we're not aware of is in what capacity. And it kind of does make sense considering the fact that she was able to ring him straight away and have a conversation about whether or not Jayden would have gone to cadet meeting. So she didn't have the coach's number, but she had the principal's number. No ordinary person just has the principal's number like that. You'd either have to be a member of staff, a relative, or a friend. Okay, so that is a reasonable conclusion that there is indeed a closer than normal tie between the principal of the school and Jayden's relatives. So the aunt was able to call Mr. Gabriel directly. Now, as when it comes to the the relationship thing, whether or not the principal did do things in the house, I don't have any comment to make about that. It's not enough evidence, and it sounds like it's speculation. Now, I don't know if this is Eddie Lewis's tactic to get the family and, you know, the principal to come out and speak to counteract things. So he might draw them out, so to speak, draw them out like shoes lace. So I don't really know if that's his tactic, but he's saying this is word on the ground. And, people will know things. So I cannot counteract it, but I cannot necessarily put it forward as fact. What I will say is that there is something around this Spur Tree venue where Shanique went to go and freshen up in order to return to the hospital. And remember, this was the missing time slot within which it could have coincided that she ended up meeting up with Jayden around the time when he was witnessed leaving Mega Mart. So, there are questions there to be answered. Now, what I know of the principal is that indeed he is a married man. But married men do the things them all the time. So, me can't really say because he married him now go give on. And Mr. Thomas, he comes across as a very simple man that, he doesn't, he often says things like, me don't know the big word them like my wife. So he does not put himself on the same level of intelligence as even his own wife. So he would easily be manipulated, easily be, twisted in whichever direction they want to put him in. I get the impression from Mr. T that he is just a simple, humble, hustling kind of man. And he's just there like a heavy hand in the house to do things and to bring in money. Yeah. I don't get the impression that they would necessarily tell Mr. T everything. But like I said, we are going to listen to the full interview with this principal and break it down.
Good evening, Principal Gabriel.
Yeah, good evening, Ricardo, and good evening to your listeners as well.
And Sandra is with me.
And Sandra, yes.
Let me ask you, what's the latest on the search for young Jayden?
So, it came up empty today again. We were very hopeful that we would have found Jayden today because conclusively, I can't speak to some of the alerts that we got earlier in the week about him being seen, although some persons are adamant that they would have seen him in their surroundings. So quite evident he has been moving around the town of Mandeville. Can't say what his base is. But as far as last night is concerned, after 6, I got a call. This now is one of our workers at Manchester High School who knows him well, would have seen him on Wesley Road, that's in the vicinity of the school. They raised an alarm, and she said if she had gotten help at the same time, they could have gotten him, but she wasn't quick enough, so because when they raised the alarm, he started to run. And then it was getting dark, he disappeared in some bushes, and we conducted a search, but it would have been difficult because that was night. So given that situation, and we could confirm that he's in that locality, we arranged a massive party today with students and the firefighters and the police, and media was there, and we combed that entire area. Grove Road, Newley Road, Wesley Road, Wesley Avenue, and we came up short. So,
if I could just follow, was the staff member able to say what he was wearing, how he was attired at the time when she saw him?
Yes, ma'am, she gave a very, because I was about 20 minutes away, so I would have rushed some delays in the traffic, and I got there, they couldn't see him again, but she saw him in his same uniform as posted in the picture, school uniform, shirt, something just the same, knapsack on his back. But this time she said he had another bag in his hand as well, so they are surmising that maybe he was heading towards the town to get food or something, because he would have been about less than 5 minutes now from the nearest food place on Wesley Road.
So what's the impact not just for Gabriel, on the students, his friends, colleagues there at the school, now that they're doing the search and today's another day that you've come up short?
Mood is a somber one, but as you can imagine, we are not used to this kind of thing. None of the students in the current population would have had to endure a situation like this. So despite the fact that Jayden would have just started Manchester High School just 1 month now, he's a part of our population and we're close in his family. So today when we announced that quickly we're going to arrange a search, I mean the entire school population almost literally wanted to go on the road. We had to manage the numbers. And they didn't just want to go out for the fun of it. They have a deep concern, and they really want him to come back home. When I went to his class, down at the first form, that was Monday morning. Obviously, he sits right at the front of the class, to the right of the teacher. And they left his desk and chair very clear, and with the high hope and expectation that he's going to rejoin them. So you can imagine the kind of impacts. Everybody's going about, still going to their classes and engaging in their various activities, but when you come on the campus, you can tell that something is different.
Are his guardians, parents, a part of this search party?
Not today, but they have been all over the place. She has visited school on a number of occasions, so we stay in close contact, and they have organized searches independently of what we are doing. So sometimes they would move out with us, and other times, depending on where the leads are, they would go to different areas. But today was a hastily arranged one, so they weren't a part of this one.
And what have you been able to gather from his class teachers? What kind of student is Jayden?
Just like MP said, all positive. He's one of those model students, and one of our indicators as educators, whenever you say a male student wants to sit at the front of the class, that in and of itself tells you a lot. Many of our boys tend to want to just gravitate towards the back of the class. So we're talking about purpose, determination, passion. One of the highest achievers, that came in on the press placement with a very high score in excess of 90. Valedictorian, top boy at Betavra, and very jovial because some of his classmates who we spoke with Monday morning, they were with him at Little Caesars in Mandeville. That's a pizza place, quite popular, and they had good interactions. They were sharing meals with him and so on, and the only thing they said is that he ate more than he would have normally eaten, and they all left him there because he told them that he has something else to do in Mandeville. But they would not have suspected anything based on out of the ordinary. Just he ate a lot and he still carried food with him when we checked the footage. But what I can say is whereabouts after that.
So that sounds like, and just based on what you've said to me, that sounds like he was preparing himself not to go home.
Clearly, that we can conclude for sure. We were saying today that, and he's part of the cadet unit as well, but boy, his survival skills are excellent because he has been seen at so many different places, and yesterday the distance that he ran, when I checked that has to be somebody with a lot of energy still to be able to run all that distance and then disappear, and so he's quite elusive, but clearly, and then he had extra money as well. So his guardian would have said that he took out his savings as well, and that was against the plan that they had for the savings that he had. So clearly he had a plan, but nobody knew.
So this was
Principal Gabriel. This is a 12-year-old boy. What is he afraid of, such that he would prepare himself to be on the run?
That's the million-dollar question. We're all in the community trying, because if it is that he doesn't want to go back home, then there are several places he could just turn himself in, whether to school or to the police, or because the last thing we did today was to send out, we're going to do a town cry, maybe it has started already, so we have coined a voice note, the vice principal, because we think he will hear it, especially after school hours, just to confirm that, that the school community cares about him, we love him, we want him to return to us, he has a bright future, we don't want him to do anything to himself, so we're pleading with him just to come by and we'll take care of him and whatever the matter is from there. But we cannot know why this youngster would be just running like that and trying to evade everybody and not even seem to be staying at a stable place.
And none of his friends or teachers detected anything strange or unusual about his behavior in the last few days?
Absolutely not, because he's a quiet student but participates a lot in class, loves to answer questions and very reasoned and intelligent. But all of the persons that interacted with him, the furthest we could go is that they could tell you up to what time they departed from his company on Friday, and he told all of them the same thing, that he had other business to do, he's not ready yet to go home. So they would not have detected anything at all, and because this has not happened before, for a long time, so nobody would have detected that he would have had any such kind of intention.
So how are you coping, Joshua Gabriel, with this situation now, going through the searches, organizing, and also still having to do your usual administrative duties? How are you coping, and the staff at Manchester?
That's a good question. It's what we do. When we signed up for this vocation, we very well knew that it will come with different challenges when you are dealing with young people, and you have to expect the unexpected. But we have a very supportive team. The guidance counselors, the vice principals, the staff members, they're always making suggestions and ready to provide information or to go on the road to do the searches. It has taken quite a bit of time away from quite a bit of the administrative stuff that is required. But we just put in extra hours to get it done. But right now, priority is just we don't want Jayden to do anything to himself. We're happy to know he's alive, but then there's a concern that the longer this drags on, there's a fear that he may do something to himself, because we also thought today that wherever he might have seen the huge delegations or something in the and he's not presenting himself. So as to how he will respond eventually, we just have to pray and hope that good sense will prevail.
Principal Gabriel, I have to ask this question, and it pains me to ask, but I have to ask because I don't think there's any other conclusion. This is a child who does not want to go home. He's afraid of going home. Why could that be?
I have no idea, to tell you the truth. I don't know about the family background. I don't know about the context. I spoke with his guardian, who has had him since he was 6 years old. In fact, the guardian's brother, his twin brother, is Jayden's father. But Jayden doesn't live with him. So from all accounts, and based on what she has shared with us, they have had a wonderful relationship, to the extent that persons in the community comment on the closeness and so on. So I can only go by the statements that have been provided by the family members, because both stepfather and mother would have visited school, and the discussion sometimes would venture into those areas, because we would have asked, I wonder if he felt any way by virtue of hurting his cousin and maybe anything that was said or anything like that. Based on what they said, we couldn't pick up anything at all that could lead us to any conclusions about any acrimony at home. So I don't have any kind of evidence to point in that direction.
We're going to do our part. So I'm going to ask you the question so that we can blast it out on social media. If Jayden is hearing you as his principal, what would you say to him?
Yeah, Jayden, we are very concerned about you. We love you. We want you to come back to our school community. There's a lot of love. All your friends and teachers and everybody want you to come back home to school and to continue your education. Remember, you're a brilliant boy. You're a valedictorian. You're going to make yourself, your school, and your family proud. So please don't do anything to yourself. Just come back to school, and whatever the matter is, we will sort it so that you can have a bright future, and we are praying for you. So please come back to school.
Principal Gabriel, I have some serious questions for you. First of all, you seem to be very much aware of what his plans may be, almost as though you are spinning a narrative. You are claiming that this little boy ate more than usual, that his friends who observed him, that's all they had to say from his attendance at Little Caesars, that he ate more than normal, and that he had already carried food to school, which your footage proves. Which footage is this? Footage at your own school, as in the camera there, or footage at Little Caesars? It'd be interesting to know what footage it is that Mr. Gabriel is referring to. I also have another question. You mentioned that he took extra money and that when he was observed another time, he was seen with another bag, not just his school bag, but another bag, giving the whole story and scenario that he had gone to go and get some other food in the town and so on, because by now he would have needed to get more food. You sound extremely detailed for a person who really don't know much about what is happening with this little boy. All the extra gaps between what he could have been doing seems to be filled by you. In addition, you mentioned that he took extra money that day and that he took that from his savings, which was against the principle of what the savings was for. Whereas we were told that he was allowed to take $2,000 from his box and that the family were well aware that he was taking his money, as in the uncle, because he took his $2,000 to go and buy pizza at Little Caesars. So they expected him to go to Little Caesars to have that pizza. So how is it against the principles of what the savings was for? It sounds to me almost as though you tried to line up your stories with whatever it is the family were saying, but yet you embellished and added extra details that the family themselves did not confirm. I am hearing you speak about this member of staff yet again, that she saw Jayden and Jayden ran off. You also went on to say that the distance that he ran off showed that he was quite nimble, he was quite athletic, because it was quite a far distance that he ran off into the bush. You then said that you went the following day to search. Why did you expect him to reside in the same bush overnight? I don't know. He considered that he was trying to get away from a member of staff. I would imagine he would have temporarily hidden and then come back out if he was indeed seen. You then speak about the fact that he was witnessed many times all around Mandeville. You keep keeping that story going on that Jayden is alive, but Jayden seems to be bouncing here, there, and everywhere. This guy must be some super talented 12-year-old with a very high IQ that can surpass all the adults in his range. But I'm not saying that's impossible, because Jayden was a bright child. But it is impossible that he could be meandering in and out of town to even buy food and not get spotted by somebody else. Because, sir, the food would have to come from a shop. You understand? And the shop would have attendants. And right now, Mandeville, Manchester, everybody on high alert looking out for Jayden. So he would have been spotted if he was just out and about in his Manchester High School uniform going to get food, unless somebody was purchasing the food for Jayden and handing it to him. You are keeping this whole narrative alive that Jayden has not deceased and that he is simply a runaway boy. Why are you trying so hard to convince the public that this is the only potential outcome of this case? I've also noticed that you are downplaying some of the information that you extrapolated from your key witnesses. For example, you said that Jayden told his friends he had other business to go and do. Does that sound like the language of a 12-year-old? May have other business for go on in a Mandeville. I don't think so. He blatantly told a child that he was going to meet his cousin, but you are not wanting to include that in your recount. You are claiming that he was going about other business. And that is what he told his friends, that he has business to do. What kind of business does a 12-year-old have to do, sir? You are using your own language and you are covering up what a 12-year-old actually said. Now, finally, you have also stated that you do not know anything about the family background. There are suspicions and allegations, which I said I cannot conclude that they are accurate, by others, including Eddie Lewis, that you are the boss of the aunt, and that it is your key that she handed over to Shanique so Shanique could go to Spur Tree and change the boss's house. Now, if you are saying that you don't know anything about the background of the family and the only thing you know would be discussions around Jayden and things that are said within the community about how close they are given the dynamics of the family, are we safe to conclude that you are not the boss of the aunts, that Anne-Marie does not work for you, and that that house has nothing to do with you? Because based on what you're saying, there is no connection at all outside of what happens in school. So when I say, people, that I do not run with the information that every other person says, you will understand why. I try to pick out things that are concrete and what I can find from the sources themselves. And he is saying he doesn't know them. So are we going to continue to just do a witch hunt, people, and blame every single person as they come along? Let me tell you something. Blame everybody. Because until this boy manifests, or his body, everybody is a suspect. And that is how any kind of criminal investigation or potential criminal investigation is conducted. We cannot eliminate 100% until all of the facts are brought to the fore. Now, it is for the job of the police to check the things that Mr. Gabriel is saying. The question I have to ask is, how is it that Mr. Gabriel and the aunt has exchanged numbers to the point where she can pick the phone up and call him, and he doesn't know anything about the family background? Is that the normal practice at Manchester High School, that the principal would have given his number to all the parents? Is that a normal protocol? Because I have never ever seen that. But then again, I didn't go to a rural school. I would like to know from other members of the Manchester High School community who are parents, do you have the number of Mr. Gabriel in your phone, ready to phone call Mr. Gabriel in case there's an issue with your child? Somehow, I doubt this is normal. And that's why I raised a brow when Mr. Gabriel said he's not close to the family like that. And the only discussions he had would be around the missing child and also about his conduct in school, etc. And whatever he picked up on them would have come from what people in the community have said. Something doesn't quite sit right with that. Now, we also have to question, what are the motives behind Mr. Gabriel's involvement, if he's involved at all? What reason would he have to actually hide what has happened to Jayden Smith, mislead the public into a wild goose chase, or extend the period of time that Jayden has gone missing? Now, we know that Mr. Gabriel has got religious connections. They say that he's a leader of a church. The last time I was able to check that, the document stated he was the chairperson of, I believe, Bethel Baptist. Now, that was some years ago. I do not know if he's still in the same position. If he's still in the same position, there are arguments that there might be some cult-like affiliation. We do know about Kevin Smith and what happened with Kevin Smith and how he had a whole cult going on. So Jamaica is not far-fetched from that idea. However, why would Jayden Smith be the first one? Why would he be the selected sacrifice? What was special about Jayden? Well, we can say these things. Jayden was not a wanted child. Even though he was raised by a family that adopted him, so to speak, he was allegedly treated as though he was the servant of the household. He seemed to have some bugbears when it came to his maternal side. He never wanted to communicate with them, so he was isolated. And if we were to look at things in a broader perspective, children of this nature tend to be victims of trafficking and victims of coercion into cult-like practices because their minds are vulnerable and they're seeking love and acceptance anywhere they can find it. So, yes, I know it is a very far-fetched idea, but it is still not an impossibility. What would be interesting is in the continued investigations, if it can be confirmed that indeed this man has nothing to do with Spur Tree, has nothing to do with the family, because who has the principal's number on speed dial like that? So now let's get to the part that you've all been waiting for. Who was the person who accompanied Shanique to Spur Tree? Who is Tammy? Remember, we heard that Tammy is the friend that lives close by, that Shanique went with to Spur Tree to freshen up when she was going back to the hospital, to and fro from the hospital. We've heard that Tammy is a friend from the uncle. Tammy sounds very much like the person who is always with Shanique. Tammy is the person who travels to and from with Shanique between the hospital and various points. Is Tammy the driver that is with Shanique during the time frame that we are questioning? The time frame when Jayden was last seen on camera. Because I'm not really taking into account all the other witnesses that have been thrown out there by the family members who are suspicious themselves or by the principal who I don't quite trust. A lot of people are wondering who Tammy is. So, today I am going to reveal Tammy. We've heard her before, or at least, as I said, we've heard someone with a very similar name. Do you remember this interview? Take a listen.
MR went back to the hospital to assist my aunt because she could not leave because they ended up admitting the baby. When they admit the baby's foot was declared broken after 5 a.m. in the morning. He broke his femur. When that was declared broken, after 5, Jayden would have not been privy to this information. Jayden did not know this. Jayden got ready and Jayden left for school. Now, look at the series of events. When would Jayden get a beating? In the car on the way to the hospital. At the hospital. All the camera footage is at the hospital. Who took Jayden to school? He went to school with his uncle. The uncle, where they call that? Uncle in-law. Uncle Karim. Uncle in-law. Uncle in-law. From perspective. Uncle in-law. When the child's mother, remember, I see a lot of people saying, oh, they're frightened. And this and that. This is a regular black child with Jamaican parents. However, they live in the US, but it's Jamaican parents. Nobody is frightened for this child. Alright, so the uncle left Jayden where? He left him at a bus stop to get taxi to go to school. His teacher confirmed that he was at school. His principal confirmed that he was at school, and he did not leave school until dismissal. The CCTV. At what time was dismissal? I'm not sure what time was dismissal. Camille, when the uncle took Jayden to school, did the uncle know that the baby foot was broken? No, he did not know. The baby did not get you in the hospital. The lady talk, then no question her. Yes, you guys listening now? So the public is not aware of the fact that there are camera footages that picked up Jayden at Little Caesar and also Mega Mart. He was in Little Caesar after 3. The last footage that picked him up at Mega Mart was after 4. So he went to Little Caesar first and then he went to Mega Mart. The public is not aware of this. The public is also saying, every day the auntie says she see my girl school, how she never seen Friday morning. That's because she was at the hospital. So a lot of people, they don't have access to this information. When my cousin realized that she works in healthcare, she's a nurse. So she worked in Jamaica before system is in Jamaica. When she realized that her child was not being seen, she booked a flight to Jamaica immediately. Jayden did not know that she was coming to Jamaica, so Jayden could not meet up with her anywhere. She booked a flight for her and her child to leave Jamaica, where she have health care in foreign, could have come back and met the fitness one doctor. When she got to Jamaica, they told her the child cannot travel because his foot is broken. The only mode of transportation would have to be in an ambulance. That's what they told her, because her plan was to take her child and go back to the US so he can see a doctor in the US, which would be his primary care doctor.
Camille, can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead. Are you living at the house where the incident took place? Were you there, or are you saying what you heard from them?
No, I don't live there.
Okay, you only saying what they are saying, right?
And this is factual information that I got, and we have seen the video footages and all of those stuff that you guys are very much saying that are not true.
And you are saying that the public does not aware of CTV camera. My dear, the whole internet have that and saying it. But my thing is that you are speaking as if you live there, and you are saying this is not true. So basically, allegedly, you are repeating what the old soul told you. Basically, that it's respect that you respect your uncle.
Angel, Commie statement and Demar statement. Actually, the same statement.
So when my cousin got to Jamaica to relieve my aunt from the hospital, because when she landed in Montego Bay, she landed after 2 in Montego Bay. From Montego Bay to Mandeville is like a 3 hours drive. She went straight to Mandeville so she could relieve my auntie so she could go home from the hospital. That was Friday night. So she got to the hospital around after 7 p.m. When my aunt went home, that's when she realized that Jayden is not home. That's when the discovery was made that Jayden did not reach home from school.
So where was Demar? And
Demar was at the hospital.
So where was the uncle?
The uncle went to work in the morning. After he dropped off Jayden to school, he went to work and then
Does Jayden have a key?
Yes, Jayden have a key. Yeah. I'm not sure what time, but once when she went home and she realized Jayden was not home, she went back in the town and they drive around searching, and then they reported the incident to the police.
So what time the uncle reached home?
2 persons saw Jayden. 1 person saw Jayden and asked Jayden. You know, if you're not aware of country people, everybody know everybody. Somebody saw Jayden and asked Jayden, like they would say, where you doing here so late? And he said he was coming from cadet training. When my aunt called the school, cadet did not keep that day because it was raining.
Hi everybody. I'm Shanique. I am Shanique. And Kami is my cousin. And everything that she is saying is correct because Kami is like a sister. Both mothers grow very close together. Everybody grow very close together. So as these things happen, I message her immediately. Hey, this is what happened. Because whenever she takes care of Zaire, sometimes when she was here, when she's visiting me, so it's like always providing that information. So it's always updating her. So as much as guys are asking, oh, she's writing off a script or something, literally, Kamisha is being told every inch of the way what's happening.
So are you hearing the blatant cover-up of Kami? She is saying that Shanique arrived at the hospital late on Friday, that it was between 5 and 7 p.m. that all of this took place, that she arrived at the hospital to relieve the aunt, who then went off and realized that Jayden was missing. So she's covering for even more time. All of Shanique's time, as far as she's concerned, was tied up in traveling between Montego Bay Airport and Mandeville. That she took a bus and then she went straight to the hospital to relieve. There's no mention of Scrutiny. There's no mention of her collecting any keys from any uncle. There's no mention of her going to change clothes. There's no mention of her turning up in the morning and then coming back. None of that. Madam wipe out all light. This cousin called Kami. Do you really believe she's the cousin? She didn't even know how to refer to the uncle. What you would have called that? If you're so closely related, how is it that you're not aware of these things? Did you also hear how Shanique came to her defense immediately? She highlighted the fact that Kami, aka Kamisha, is indeed a close cousin, and that this cousin sometimes looks after Zaire. Remember that video that has gone around with the 2-year-old jumping off the bed and somebody has said, go to your mother and blah, blah, blah. I'm assuming that this was Kami. Now, I'm not sure if Kami and Tammy are the same because the uncle called her Tammy, the friend that she met to go to Spur Tree in order to change. And I am convinced now that it is the same person and that the uncle, because in vocabulary and the way in tag, in kind of twist up. He probably a call her Tammy when she named Cammy. You know it go in Jamaica sometime when people twist up your name and call you the wrong thing, it stick. Him no know if a cousin or if a friend. How could he not know that when he's claiming that the mothers grew closely? It's interesting that she doesn't refer to the mother as her aunt, isn't it? Because that would be the natural thing to say, that my aunts were very close, my mother's sister's child. But it sounds like the mothers were actually just friends. And this cousin is kind of like an adopted title. That's what I'm picking up. It may not be correct. It may very well be a blood relative. But once again, Cammy, Tammy, what do you think in the comments? I think that this Cammy who appeared on the interview is actually Tammy, the friend who went with her to Spur Tree. If it is that it's not Tammy, I know for a fact that this person is. Tammy was present at the gender reveal for Zaire. Now, what we know of Shanique is that Shanique was an aspiring YouTuber. She has a whole channel where she tries to kind of do the same kind of thing like the Carters. Getting to know the Cook family. Cook is her married name. And on this channel, there is a whole video of the actual gender reveal of Zaire. So Zaire is in tummy. She has her daughter. And during this gender reveal, several members of the family have been revealed to the public. Shanique goes through the audience where she basically asks people what they think the baby's gender is going to be, male or female. And in this clip, she introduces her actual friend, Tammy. Take a listen.
Good night.
Good night.
What do you think the gender of the baby is going to be?
A boy.
Ramin.
Boy, right here.
Tell me, what do you think the gender of the baby is going to be?
I don't know. I want it to be a boy, but I think it's a girl. I don't know about you.
Tell me, what do you think the gender of the baby is going to be?
I don't know. I want it to be a boy, but I think it's a girl.
Tell me, what do you think the gender of the baby is going to be?
I don't know. I want it to be a boy, but I think it's a girl.
Tell me, what do you think the gender of the baby is going to be?
I don't know. I want it to be a boy, but I think it's a girl.
This young lady is the friend that she went to Spur Tree with. She is the driver on that occasion, or at least the passenger and the witness to the whereabouts of Shanique at a key time frame that is currently in question. If the police want to confirm that Shanique's story lines up, question this one. Likewise, track her whereabouts and activities around the time when Jayden went missing. Whatever it is that went down, this person knows about it. If you notice in the interview, the Cammy, all of these similar sounding names, it's crazy, literally spoke verbatim the same rhetoric and storyline that has been impressed on this person's mind by Shanique. To the point where when they were questioned by the hosts of this live, saying, but you don't live with them, so everything you're repeating is actually what you've heard, Cammy went silent. If you have made it this far into the video, do not forget to hit the like, share and subscribe button. And of course, click that bell so if you are new to my channel, you get notified whenever I drop a video. I expect to see everyone in solidarity on the 24th of October for this walkout in honor of Jayden Smith. Everyone needs to be there. And even if the principal is not interested, I'm pretty certain that the people of Manchester are interested in attending. Please support this event and, let your voices go out there so that if Jayden is still alive and still can be found, he will realize that he is loved, he is missed, and he needs to come home. Either way you take it, I'm pretty certain that we will be watching over here in a big foreign or wherever we are in the world online, and I'm sure it will be streamed. So we will give our support and our love from this end. Big up your nice clean self. This is your girl, Head Teacher K, and I'm out.